Welcome to the Health Sport Podcast, a podcast in which we discuss with athletes of all levels, health professionals, and key figures of the sport world. Before presenting this episode's guest, please consider sharing this with your friends and loved ones who could benefit from it. Also, I encourage you to subscribe to the show on whichever platform you're listening to. It helps the podcast grow. This episode's guest has been a personal trainer since he was 19 years old after competing in swimming, mountain biking, and figure skating. Since 2020, he considers himself as a professional amateur athlete and he competes in half and full Ironman. We'll discuss his 2025 season and his first time at the World Championship. Please welcome Guillaume Smith. Guillaume, welcome to the Health Sport Podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Your first son was born last year, late autumn, late fall. And you have raced all season with him on the race at the finish line waiting for you. How's your feeling completing our Ironman with your kid waiting now?
Well, it's been a crazy year. It's been a crazy season. This has been the year that I have raced the most, and it's also the year that I have put the most training hours. If you follow me on Strava, you could kind of look at all the hours that I logged in, and I was looking at it last night, and I have probably like 42% more swimming than last year. Biking and running is similar, but still a big upgrade. So there's just so many more hours in training, and it's crazy because since I've had my son, I found this regain of discipline, some discipline that I had when I was like 18 years old and that I lost for years and years. So like the last year has been like great on training, great on racing. There's just like no place to like you when you have a window to do something, it's just, this is the window to do it. And it just creates so much more opportunity in that way. And I found like that it just got more momentum. So basically, yeah, it's been great. And every time I've been through some rough patches during races, just honestly thinking about the finish line with him coming at the arrival, like, I mean, that was just such a good motivator. And I always felt really happy when I finished a race this year. Like happiness was really like the highest mark. So yeah.
How was the season?
The season's been great. There's been ups and downs, but a few milestones along the way. And first Ironman, I've never actually thought that I would do one day. I wasn't very interested for the long distance in triathlon, but I kind of figured out that I was actually pretty good at it. So I guess that I'll have to keep training on it. And even after Ironman Lake Placid, which was my first Ironman, a few weeks later, I did my second in Ironman Maryland. I just figured that I had so much good fitness leading up to Placid that I might as well just like build on that fitness. And it's always easier to do another race after a race because you've like already built that fitness. So you don't lose anything. You kind of just need to recover and then rebuild back up for like a very short period of time. So I really want to see what I had on a like different kind of course. And I had a couple confirmations.
Nice. Since we're beginning the episode, we did one in French, but for everyone who's new to the podcast, can you tell us your story in a really short time?
Well, I'm a sports enthusiast. I've done pretty much every like type of cycling sport since I've been young. Started swimming and then figured out mountain biking was really something I enjoyed. Then went to school to kind of become a coach. Continued biking, cycling, all that good stuff. And then triathlon came along the way. Really enjoyed that sport. And in the past, like 4 to 5 years, that's really where I put more energy into it. But in the past 3 years, have been really a big focus and pretty much my lifestyle. Like I breathe and live through triathlon.
Eat, sleep, train, repeat.
Yeah, definitely. Like everything is around triathlon. Like our vacations are around races. My work is around where can I put the most chunks of work during a training and vacation / race week. So everything is always around that. Same thing with my girlfriend. She kind of started running, cycling, and then now when she was pregnant, she started swimming and really enjoyed it. And she did her first triathlon this year, and when she did that, I was just like, okay, she seems like she wants to like kind of like fill in cocher une marque, kind of. I just want
a bucket list.
Yeah, it was kind of a bucket list thing. And then after she did her first triathlon, which was an Olympic, she's like, wow, I really actually enjoy this. So I guess, I guess things, when two parents are doing triathlon, it can become complicated, but super fun at the same time because we share the same thing, right?
Yeah. What do you find the most? What part of triathlon do you enjoy the most?
What do you mean, like in
racing,
general?
Yeah, in general, yeah.
That's a great question. I guess I'm very bored of doing this. Like, if I would only do one sport, that's kind of like what happened with mountain biking. I kind of just got bored with it. And I feel like the longer you go in triathlon, like in terms of distance, it really rewards the people that train. And I've always really loved everything about the process of training, which is building fitness and like kind of tweaking around what needed to be improved. And the longer you go into triathlon, the less forgiving it is for the people that don't train. And in mountain biking, what happened is people didn't. Not everybody would train. Everybody would kind of mountain bike and they would race, and it was what it is. And I'm talking about downhill. I'm not talking about cross country. That's what I was doing. So I guess that's what I really kind of like loved about like the longer distance in triathlon. It was just like it rewards the people that train. The process is all oriented around the race that you sign up for, and the reward is actually racing. Like it is. You do accomplish something if you have a big goal, either finishing or a certain time on the whether it's the swim, bike, run, or the full triathlon. But the reward is just having that race, and I just love racing. I love going to races. I would race all the time if I could. But that wouldn't be very smart to build fitness. So, but I think that it's oriented around the process, and the training is in becoming better, and seeing that even if you get older, you kind of still can attain your peak, which I feel that I'm still not there yet. So the potential behind going longer and faster is something that really attracts me.
So you had a really busy season, as you said earlier. And which race or moment during the season is your highlight of the year?
Interesting. There's categories of highlights. So I did 3 70.3s this year. 4 70.3s. One, which was World Champs last week in Marbella. And I did 2 full Ironmans. So I would have to say that Ironman Lake Placid was probably the highlight of the year for so many reasons. It was close to home. It was something new that I was so terrified of doing. I knew I had the fitness, but I was just not very. I didn't know if I was able to do this. So, everything led up to another on that race, and I finished was really hard. I didn't have like the best end of my marathon, but I mean, yeah, that would definitely be the highlight.
Yeah. So you have done 2 full marathons this year, and they were your first 2 in your life?
Yeah, and they were in 2 Ironmans.
Oh, wow.
Well, running a
And
marathon on an Ironman is very different than running a marathon by itself. So, not that it's less impressive to run a marathon after the bike. It's just that you're never going to go as fast. It's different.
mm,
It's a different stimulus.
yeah. And it was your first time at the World Champs for the 70.3.
Yep.
How was that?
Well, it was a crazy experience. I mean, everybody that's over there is the best, right? So the dynamic. Well, first of all, the dynamic of the race was very different. Like everybody has their strengths and weaknesses, but everybody is kind of good at
Mm.
something. There's no newbies out there, so you're really exposed quickly. So I really like that. But the energy around the event was insane. I mean, I didn't know like how it would be if it would be just like another 70.3 or another triathlon race, but there was a huge hype over there, and like I could see the difference, and I can see the why people that go once kind of want to go again. After I did my first Ironman, I was kind of like, I don't really want to go to Worlds every year. Like I think I'm going to focus more on, I don't know, trying to get a Kona, like I like to get to the full distance. But after doing Marbella, I kind of realized I really like doing 70.3s because you finish your day quite earlier, and you can enjoy a little bit more of the end of the race with your friends, with your family. So I really kind of like enjoyed that part of the event. Plus you're on the biggest stage, so you can really compare yourself to the best out there, and and experience like new courses and stuff like that. So next year that'll definitely be one of my goals to re-qualify for Nice 70.3 is going to be Worlds next year in September. So that'll be a big goal of mine to get the qualification spot again.
Yeah, that's one thing I've realized too. I've done my first marathon last month.
Oh, congrats, man.
The Quebec. Yeah.
Yeah.
It went really awful.
Oh, my God.
I hurt myself 2 weeks before at the last long run before the taper. I hurt my ankle during a 21K at marathon pace. So the last 2 weeks, I've ran probably 50 minutes. And then I went running for the marathon. After 6K, my HL was so stiff. I was really scared that would snap during the uphill.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I had to walk and everything, but still at the end, I completed it. And I found out that I really like half marathon.
Yeah.
During half
Marathon's a high risk.
And during the half marathon, I was like, oh, it's a bit too short. But after marathon, I'm like, oh, half marathon is a good distance. You can push really hard for 1 hour and a half, 1 hour, 40 minutes, and like destroy yourself if you want to. Or you can take it quite easy. But a full marathon, at the end, you're going to be scrap. You're going to destroy at the end.
Yeah, the training leading up to a marathon is so high risk. It's just you're juggling between being fit or fucked.
Yeah. You said that you're gonna try again this next year to when the episode's gonna come out. It's gonna be 2026, but you're gonna try to qualify for Nice. How is the qualification process? Do you need to do a time at one specific event, or you need to get a result like a top 15 in your age category to qualify?
Well, the qualification system changed this year. So it changed after the qualification process for Marbella and for And so how it works for 70.3 is a bit different than for the full Ironman for Kona.
Okay.
So the new system, as I understand it, from afar, everybody that wins their age group get a not automatic qualification spot. That's the only people that is guaranteed. So if you win your age group next year, I'll be older. I'll be graduating to the 35, 39 guys. So which is a hard category. Like everybody between 25 and 45 is like really hard, but 35 to 39, there's the bulk. Anyway, so the people that win their age group, they get a automatic slot. From there, they can refuse the spot if they don't want to go. Like not everybody takes their spot. So if they don't take their spot, it goes to the second person. And if the second person doesn't take it in that age group, it goes to the third person. And then from there, if the third person doesn't take it, it doesn't go to the fourth. It goes to the pool. So it goes to like multiple slots that they allocate in this pool of athletes. The pool of athletes, how it works is they take everybody in man and then everybody in women. And they use your time. And your time with an algorithm is changed depending on your age group. So what that does is it levels out everybody. So somebody that's 75 years old, his time might be the same as mine with this new calculation. So it's a big algorithm that I a bit understand, but at the end of the day, when you finish your race, they do all the math for you, and there's like this sheet with everybody's name in order. So with this new time that's been calculated, you have the first, and it goes up to 250 people. And every race has different amounts of slots they allocate. So let's say there's 50 slots in Oceanside, and they've already given out 20 spots to the ladies winner of each age group, and then 20 spots to the men winner every age group. Well, there's 10 spots left that they can give out. And then that goes to the pool of athletes. So they'll start until the latest person that didn't get a slot, that didn't take his qualification spot, and it goes on like that.
Mm. And
before it was like 2 to 5 spots per age group. So they would do the same system, but until the next person takes it. But now it's really through like a performance pool.
That's interesting, the algorithm you were talking about, because in biathlon, the thing is that not all courses are equal. The same track you can be racing on one Saturday, and the next Sunday, if the snow condition is different, right, you cannot analyze and compare between each and every races. Right. So the thing they do is that we do a percentage. So 100% is the average of the top 3 finisher. So they take the first, second, and third place, do average of their time. This time is 100%. Right. So how you qualify for criterias and selections, they take the percentage of best of 3, best of 5, and then they compute another percentage, and from there they can choose. So that makes sense. And it goes up to the World Cup, because if you want, like in Canada, the karting, you need to be like a 96, 97% on the World Cup to get some criterias to have the karting and everything. So I really like this system for biathlon, and I think probably cross country skiing also have it.
Well, I guess like with Ironman, it's just, I think it makes more sense that way. It just gives more opportunity to somebody that has performed out somebody else. So I guess like in my age group, it's really hard. So, like if you did good, well, good for you.
Yeah. And even if you're 70 years old, but like you're really close to the fourth or third place, your time and percentage, if we use the same system as Bathlon, you're probably really closer to the podium in this overall, even though the guy at 35 years old did like maybe 3, 4, 6 hours, probably not 6, but
Yeah.
like 2-3 hours faster.
Yeah, exactly.
And you qualify for this year at Oceanside, right?
Right.
Yeah, the episode in French was right after Oceanside.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
You just earned your qualification at that time.
Yeah. Yeah, it was exciting. It's crazy to say that's only been a couple months ago. Like time has flew so fast. It's crazy.
And when we talked together last winter, you focused a lot on your nutrition and strength training.
Yeah.
Did you find out that it helped your season this year, or did you still add things to adjust during the season?
I think that when it helped me the most was last week. So I think it took like almost all year until like it kind of changed. Like I dropped down to 168 pounds for Marbella because I really needed to be lighter for all the climbs because Marbella was just like the most hilly 70.3 you can find. And the weight that I wanted to be in Lake Placid is actually the weight that I was in Marbella. Once I wanted to be 165 in Marbella, to be honest, but I didn't want to sacrifice my power. And the problem with losing weight quickly is that you could easily get into this pattern where you're losing muscle and energy because you still need to consume energy as you're training, racing, all that. So it's really dangerous to kind of get into that pattern of like, oh, I want to lose a lot of weight, but am I losing good weight? And what happened is since Oceanside, I've lost maybe 0.grams every week. And some weeks I wouldn't lose anything. Not that I would weigh myself every day. I would weigh myself maybe every 3 to 4 days and do averages on months. So just like to make sure that I was eating enough, that I wasn't losing too much weight, but I was still losing a little weight. And that's the thing though, like I really didn't want to lose power because if you lose power and you lose weight, you're just not moving forward. So but all the efforts kind of came into place for Marbella. So what I think is going to be even better for next year is I'm going to be able to build on that and maybe probably stay the same weight all winter. And as I'll be training during the summer, I might lose a few grams in here and there. But I feel like I'm at a really good place right now where my weight is good, my nutrition intake is pretty solid too. But it kind of took that whole year to get into there. So yeah, nutrition isn't something that comes in this quickly, but if you really focus on it and you're patient, I feel that it could pay off when you expect it the least.
Even though that in the episode in French, we went really deep into all the science you do for your nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that you put so much energy and time to find your perfect nutrition, do you still hit the wall sometimes during races?
Not this year. So maybe I'll hit the wall somehow, but I'm so high. Actually in Marbella, I was the lowest carbs that I've been all year because I didn't hit the wall, but I couldn't consume as much as I wanted to because I had a few stomach issues on the bike. I don't know if it's because I swallowed salt water from the ocean or simply because the first hour we were only climbing. So the effort and the watts on the bike were really high. So I wonder if it was like the effort that made me not able to like consume as much calories as I wanted. Because I consumed probably 30 grams per hour less than on other 70.3s this year, and even on
Oh,
Ironman.
wow.
So I didn't hit the wall, but because I was pushing the energy that I could at that moment. But I'm pretty sure that if I was able to eat in a little bit more carb, I would have been a bit more poppy on the run when I hit the run leg. But no, I didn't really hit the wall. I hit moments where I was struggling, but it wasn't about. I don't think it was about because of the nutrition. I think it was just more about the fatigue, and I was trying to push the pace a little bit too hard for that moment. So, but there's always a little bit more fine tuning to do, and there's still some things that I need to figure out about my nutrition, and mostly my fluids, not necessarily my carbs, because I know I can eat a lot of carbs. My gut is kind of trained for that. But in the next 2 weeks, I'll be in Arizona, and I'll be doing some testing at a lab with my coach, and we're going to be looking in depth on what is my sodium, how much salt do I really lose, because I trained so much all year with. And I've adapted. I might not need as much sodium as I used to need. So I need to kind of recalibrate my body and figure out what are my real numbers, and not only guess, but really have the real data. So yeah, I'm excited for that. Like in 2 weeks, we'll know like where I'm at, and it'll be easier also to train with. Like I won't be guessing my quantities in terms of water and appropriate amounts of sodium. So yeah, we'll see.
Where is it in Arizona? Is it a big lab, or is it more a personal lab that you get with your coach?
I actually don't really know. I'm going to go with my coach, and yeah, we have that, and we have a DEXA scan that we're going to do, run gait just to see like my running patterns on the treadmill. We're going to kind of wait for doing lactate and VO2 testing because I've been off 1 week. I'll be off like another this week. So doing lactate and VO2 testing with no like with a 2 week off before is not very appropriate in terms of like knowing like the paces and the good amounts. So we'll probably wait on for that later in the year.
If we go back to Marbella, can you tell us how the race went? How was the swimming? How was the biking and the running?
The swim was probably the best swim ever on a 70.3. Probably the swim that I felt the most in control. I've been practicing a lot of sighting in the pool. Sighting in the pool is like, instead of like regular swimming, like every like 3 or 5 strokes, you kind of lift your head up to look where you're going. So it's a different movement pattern. In the pool, you don't really need it because you just look at the line in the bottom. But I've been practicing. I've been having a lot of drills of sighting, and it kind of became a little bit more aware of my positioning in the water. So what would happen in other 70.3s is I would swim. I would zigzag a little bit more. So I would have good times, but I would consume a lot of energy trying to like reroute where I needed to be. And with all this sighting work, like I became a lot better to be a lot more straight. And if you look at the Strava or the data like from my training peaks, like the lines are perfect. Like I really sighted well, and I found good feet to follow in some bits. So that saved a lot of energy. Got out of the water and felt really good. I got out of water in 30 minutes. I was really happy with that. My transition went very well. Could have gone a little bit faster because like we had bags with our stuff in during transition, and my bags were like I tied knots in spots that I shouldn't have, so that was a little longer to undo. The bike was really great. Like I put a big focus on the bike training in leading up to Marbella, because I knew it would be really like a break or take. And I even got to Marbella very, very early, a lot earlier than most people, because I needed to practice the course, know every corner step by step, know where I'm gonna drink, know where I'm gonna grab like aid station bottles, where to push, where to lay it back a little bit.
How is your refills working? How does it work? Do you have like your girlfriend staying there with the bag, or is it on tables?
Oh no! There's like thousands of volunteers all day giving out bottles if you want them. There's gels, there's bananas, there's complete aid stations. It's just
okay.
It's pretty legit. Yeah, so like I kind of like I wanted to go through the motions in training to kind of know that. So I had a pretty solid bike. Like I didn't push at 100% because you don't want to push at 100%, but it's been a pretty solid bike. Like I gave everything that I had for my percentages, and I think that it went really well. There's just so much climbing on that course. It's like a 1,600 meters of elevation, so that's quite substantial. Like I've done 2,000 meters and 180K for an Ironman, and this was like almost that but for half the distance. So yeah, I'm really happy on how the bike went. I felt solid on the bike. Like sometimes legs don't come easy, but my legs were there pretty much the whole time. But like I said earlier, like nutrition was something that I may wanted a little bit more. So that way I could have be pushed even more watts. And yeah, and on the run, like as soon as I started running, I was feeling good, but I was feeling a bit off. The thing is, like, I kind of knew that this may happen, but in the weeks prior, there wasn't much room to kind of improve my running speed because I had done 2 Ironmans in the 2 months leading into Marbella. And there was just so much fatigue accumulated from the marathons. And there was just not much places to grow there without risk. So it was the first time I kind of experienced a run where I knew I could go faster, but I couldn't. So my fitness was able to go fast, but my legs didn't come easy. And that was just like accumulated fatigue of a year of racing, 2 Ironmans. The legs just didn't follow. I was able to run whatever I did. I ran a 149 when I should have probably ran a 139 like there, but it was just not there. But as soon as I kind of realized that, I kind of accepted it right away and just like did the race more in a mode of being appreciative of the moment, and not necessarily race to win, because I already knew that I was with the top level people out there. So like I wasn't going there for a position. I was going there for the experience. So now that I lived the experience, I want more. But yeah, it was just like fun to race and just enjoy the moment a lot more than to always try to catch up onto something and be frustrated because I'm not running where I should or I want to be. So yeah, but I'm really happy about that race. Like it's the race that I'm probably the most proud of myself. Not necessarily because, well, yes, obviously because of the effort. Like I gave everything I had, but mostly because of my attitude in every portion of the swim, bike, run. Like I always had this good attitude in me. I was super positive. I was always talking positive to myself when things weren't like perfect. Yeah, so I finished the race and I was just very happy.
You had so much race this season, and it lead up to that part that you still enjoyed racing, and even though probably it's not the best performance you could have gotten, but you still enjoyed the race through from the beginning to the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for next season, do you have anything coming up?
Yeah, it's a big question mark. Like, there's a few things that I want to accomplish, but nothing is set in stone. It's the first time in a long time that like I arrive at this time of the year and like I'm not signed up for anything for the year after. I kind of want to. I just want to. I just want to take these 2 weeks post race just to think a lot. I'm talking with my coach a little later this week and trying to figure out things. There's obviously some things that I think would be the smartest moves just because of logistics. So I think I'm going to redo Ironman Lake Placid. I think that's something that that I might redo for sure. It's so close from home. I love the course. It's just simple logistically, and I think I could do a lot better on that course now that I know what I'm attacking. So, but yeah, nothing is really confirmed. I'd love to go back to Oceanside because I think it's for me it would be my third time, and it would kind of show me where I'm at in terms of fitness, like what has improved. Not necessarily go there to like do my best result of the year, but more just like a confirmation of like how training going is, and just something to look forward to also during the off season. From there, I kind of don't want to repeat the same season that I had this year or even the year before, because this year is a lot of a copy paste of the year before with the first 3 races. I think I want to do a couple things differently. Kind of want to divide it into, like, if I do Placid, the season would finish there. I want to see also where are the opportunities to do to have a higher ranking to qualify for Nice, because I think I got lucky in Oceanside this year, but I might not always get lucky, and maybe there are other places where I would do better in terms of ranking, like depending on the course. Like maybe I should go to Eagle then. It's a flat course. I could push a lot of watts out there. It's a hard swim. I could probably outswim a lot of people over there too. So, yeah, just not necessarily do races where I want to go, but do races that are strategic for the races that I will want to qualify for. So yeah, so that the schedule might change because of that. If I know like that a bunch of good guys are going to do this race, maybe it's not the smartest choice to go there if it's for a qualification spot. Obviously, if it's for like a time or a PR or I really want to go to this race, I'll go for sure. But I think there needs to be a little bit more thought in where I go. Yeah, and I think piggyback on that statement, it'll be the same situation if I want to qualify for Kona. Spots are limited. People are really competitive and they're really good at the full distance now. I know I can do good on that distance, but I know that I'm not there yet. But it'll kind of teach me to like where should I go to do these races and qualify.
It's gonna sound like a almost stupid question, but you train a lot for the 70.3. Like you're qualified for the world champ. You do a lot on the bike, on the running, on the swimming. For a person like you, an athlete like you, do you need to do a lot more to do a full Ironman, to perform on a full Ironman?
After Oceanside, my training really evolved towards the full distance training. So in the past, the trainings that the longer sessions that I would have on the weekend actually became the sessions that I would do midweek, with a caveat of a little bit less hours, but similar. And then my weekend workouts were longer at that point. And as I would get closer to a race 70.3, it would retransition to like a midweek and a weekend that would be like 70.3 styles. But instead of only have one block of like Saturday, Sunday that were long, I would have midweek plus Saturday, Sunday. So the stimulus would still be for 70.3, but the total volume in the week was really thinking about the Ironman that was coming in multiple weeks. But Ironman training is long when you get tired. I mean, like in the last weeks of the big training box, you question yourself a lot more on what if you want to do that, just because it's so time consuming. Like one of my trainings on one weekend for Placid was I'd had a 6-hour bike and a 30-minute swim. It was just such a long day. And it's also all the organization around like the nutrition you have that day, because you need to consume a lot of calories. You have to think about, okay, so I'm going to fill up my water bottles here and there. And I just did 2 loops that day, 2 loops of the same thing. That way it was just less complicated. I think that's the way to go. But you're just tired all the time, and you become a little bit more irritated in those last weeks. And the best way to train for triathlon is like always like long ride, and the day after is a long run, and not the other way around, because you want to run with some fatigue in the legs. The training really transitioned more towards the full, and I feel that I haven't trained for a half, even if I have. Like, I mean, I feel like my training has been looking like a lot more like on the slower side. But I'm excited to get back into the speed training a little bit more in upcoming weeks, I guess.
And in the episode in French, you told us that you studied to become a strength coach.
Yep.
How much percentage do you put on strength training versus running, swimming, and biking?
Small percentage, probably. Like this summer, in the winter, I'll do more like 3 strength sessions a week.
Okay.
Averaging about 30 to 45 minutes per session. This summer, I've had some weeks that I had no strength training, or I had like some core stuff. And then other moments I had like maybe 1 to 2 strength sessions. But I think I'll change that next year. I think it'll be wiser to always keep at least 1 strength session or 2 very short ones, because I kind of felt some instability in my hips and in my shoulders as I was doing less and less and less. So yeah, it's a small percentage. I think that some athletes, if some triathletes or some endurance athletes that haven't had the same strength and conditioning background that I have, probably they could do a little bit more. But I've done so much strength training in the past that like I have this accumulative maturity, I guess. Yeah, exactly. So I don't think I benefit with it as much as somebody that has done less. I think I'm just maintaining pretty much.
All right. And you talked a lot about your coach. So you're a coach, but you've got a coach for your section of racing and everything.
Yeah.
How did you find this coach?
He was coaching one of my good friends, and I just liked the style of the way that she was talking about him. And I met him, and kind of clicked. He's very honest, and he says things as they are. He's not a cheerleader as well, so there's a lot of tough love. But and sometimes I don't always like that, but I need it. And I know that I need it, because I don't want somebody just telling me what I want to hear, because that would be kind of hypocritical. And I feel like I'm like that a little bit too. So I saw myself in him. I might be a little bit more cheerful, but it was just a good match. Well, it's been 2 years now. 2 years
2
now
years?
that I'm with him. Yep.
And it's not by its fault, but you still put the effort. But he helped you go to the qualify to the world champ for the world champ.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
after, if we look back through your decision 2 years ago, to have a good fit with your coach is a foundation to have a good performance for sure.
Yeah, and I feel like this year has grew a lot from the year before. I think like it took a long time for him and I to like kind of know like what works, and my volume has skyrocketed. But I mean, there are so many times where I wanted to do more, and he kind of like pulled the plug, and it paid dividends in the long term.
It's one thing like when we're doing sport and a coach, it's the human body. There's not one human body that's the same as another one. I've talked to numerous kinesiologists, and they all said that, yeah, you learn the theory, but when you go into the real life with high-level athletes, sometimes this one needs a little bit more rest, and this one doesn't need as much rest, but both can perform at the same level, but you need to adapt to everybody. So if you get like a reading coach, a guitar coach, you can have a personally fit. But for a coach to learn how your body react, he needs a full year probably to learn and find out the results, because you train in the off season a lot and you race during the racing season. So you can train for 6 months before seeing if it's going to pay off or not.
Yeah, I think there's a big responsibility as well in the athlete to communicate with their coach. And like, I mean, it's important to, you always need to ask yourself, would this information be valuable to me if I was coaching? So it's not only about asking questions, or it's not only about your next workout. It's a lot more than that, and the communication comes from both sides. The athletes that communicate the most probably get the most out of their training as well. Every comment that you can leave on your training is valuable, and it could be as simple as a funny thing. When I see funny comments from my athletes in their training peaks, I know things are going good, because even if it was hard, in the way that they say whatever they need to say, is I know that they're in a good mindset. But when I start seeing negative comments over and over, that's another sign that training is maybe overwhelming at this moment, and we need to back off on some things. We need to back off on some intensity, or we need to back off on some volume, depending on where the athlete is. And it's all like little signs. So like, be natural in the way you communicate, and like kind of over communicate as well. Really helps like distinguish what's going on in the person's life. And without necessarily giving all the info, there's some things that I find value in reading all those comments, like after an easy 30-minute run.
I find it funny because right now I'm doing a cut phase with my strength coach, and we had like halfway meeting a week ago, and he asked me, do you have any cravings? And I'm like, no, not particularly. But like 2 days after this meeting, all I was thinking was candy, bread, and pasta. But like all day I was only thinking about carbs. So I just wrote into the journal, I was thinking about carbs all day. But like when you said funny comments, for me, this comments was really funny, that during the day, all I was thinking about was carbs and pasta, spaghetti, and candy and bread. So I was like, that's crazy how much like I'm lacking some carbs right now.
Right.
But because of the journal, the day before, I had a special event, and I came back really late at home, and I didn't have my night snack, evening snack that contained carbs. So I found out that because I was taking a journal and commenting every day, that I found out that the evening snack, the carbs there helped me not only like for the moment, but the day after.
Well, yeah, obviously you're recovering.
Yeah. So you're coaching different athletes. What kind of athletes do you coach?
Endurance athletes that are motivated from running, cycling, or triathlon, which is my biggest pool of athletes. I have 15 athletes right now that will be doing 70.3 in Tremblant, and next year, and this year I had 12, including myself, like in my circle. So it's a bump, and I had 15 with the 5150, which is the Olympic the day before. So I feel like this year is going to be a big year for the backyard club athletes in Tremblant.
How do you manage all the work and your training? Is it quite easy, or can it be difficult?
No, it's not easy. Oh, it's not easy. It looks easy. Because people will see what they see on Instagram, and they're like, "Oh, that's easy." Pictures and videos in Spain. Oh, wow, living the dream. Yep, but I'm working on my laptop until 11 o'clock at night sometimes. And every day, even after race day, a few hours after the race, I was on Training Peaks looking at some workouts for some of my athletes. So it's not always easy. It is. I'm very appreciative of the opportunity that I have, but I chose this life. But I just prioritize everything, and depending on where I am with my son, with my training, the hours I have to put in a week, that's where I'll kind of figure out where my schedule will go. At home, I wake up in the morning, I log in, I read everything that I need to read on my coach app, and work from there. Then train, work again, train, work again, kind of like that pattern. But when I was in Spain, the schedule kind of shifted completely. It was different. So I trained in the morning, and then all the evening was all work. So I divided it. It was a lot more simple over there to do that way. So instead of dividing everything in little chunks here and there and alternating work and training, I did all of the block of training, life, and then I worked in the evening. It was a lot simpler that way. And but it doesn't work at home. That system doesn't work at home. So I think it's important for me to stay flexible. But yeah, it's not easy. It's just you just need to prioritize what you ever need to do. And yeah.
Do you keep the same philosophy of training that you put yourself through yourself as an athlete to your athletes, or you sometimes have to modify your philosophy of training with your clients?
For like one client to the other?
Yeah. And like yourself, sports take a huge part of your life, and you put a lot of effort in everything you do. When you go with your clients, some clients might be work or may have a professional career, probably have, and have kids, everything. Probably they're not as invested in sport, but at a certain point, they are hiring a coach to get better. So how do you adjust the training and everything?
The philosophy stays the same, but I think that I attract people that it's something that it's very important for them, and for the people that it doesn't happen, I don't think they stay as long with me as a coach, an athlete. So I think that the athletes that I have right now, and even the new ones that I have, I think like there's this connection where like not necessarily performing, but training and doing the events are something that's important. That's on their high priority list. So I think that works well. And for athletes that it's not the highest priority, or I don't know, it's like the second priority or the third priority. They're still quite addicted to becoming better. So I think in terms of quality of persons, I think that I really have great athletes in that regards. But in terms of philosophy, I think it just changes from one athlete to the other in terms of their experience. So a higher level experience athlete, it'll take longer for them to make smaller gains. So the system, their training will be is a lot different than somebody that's starting. Somebody that's starting can benefit more from doing a lot of more intensity work, as opposed to somebody that's a lot more experienced. Somebody will do too much intensity, might hurt them because they're so good that doing those intensities, they won't be able to recover as well, as opposed to somebody that's more of a beginner. These intensities aren't as high, so recovering from those make them better at a faster pace. So, but the philosophy of being specific and minimalistic, and how many hours does XYZ athlete have in their week, and how can we maximize that? And boom, you kind of have like the whole schedule that way.
All right. Is there anything coming up in 2026 beside the racing season that's get to be determined soon?
Yeah, race season is to be determined. What I want to do with Backyard Club is kind of create a little bit more of a strength generic program for endurance athletes, more likely for triathletes. That not for my clients, but for people out there that kind of are doing their own thing and they want like a strength program. I've never wanted to do a generic program for triathlon because every time that I tried writing one, I just ended up targeting a specific person, and I was never really satisfied with the product, so I never released any of them. And I tried multiple times, so
Yeah.
but I just don't like the generic effect on triathlon, because everybody has like different weaknesses, time, and whatever. But for the strength side, I feel like I could bring a lot of value to creating like a generic program for triathletes. So I'm starting to work on that for the off season. Obviously, it's something that I kind of want to release quickly because the off season is short. Kind of want to break it down into 3 patterns. So like structural balance work, big compound strength work, and then power work. So kind of like an involvement of athletic development and strength and conditioning, but try to adapt it for the triathlon world, and also give guidance to when to do it with their program. So like if somebody already has a program with another coach or is following a generic program of triathlon, well, he could follow the strength routines around though and know when to do them, because I'll be giving kind of the rules of it. So nothing confirmed, but probably something that'll come out soon enough.
On your website?
Yeah, Backyard Club.
What's the website?
It's backyard.club. That's the no comma. It's just backyard.club. It's BKYRD.club. And I also I want to get out some merch. You gave me the idea. I've done it. I've done it.
Right now.
Yeah, I've done it in the past, and it's just a little complex. But I think that if I do like kind of maybe a pre-sell or a drop, I might hit the people a little bit more. I've been also thinking, I don't know if it'll happen, but since I have so many athletes doing Tremblant, I kind of want to maybe have a triathlon kit custom made. So if ever anybody of my athletes want that custom kit, they could have it. And I'll kind of only keep it for my athletes, not for somebody that wants to have my logo. It will be really like
limited edition.
Yeah, limited for the people that follow along.
Not limited, exclusive.
Exclusive, yeah.
Yeah. And when you were talking about like where the training, general training, strength training program you want to develop,
yeah,
that's one thing with general training. And when you're doing a competition, I found out that like the periodization of training, like, and you cannot do hypertrophy right before a race. It's not something I think you do or I do. Mm-hmm. But there's part when you get into a season and you have an event coming up, probably you're maintaining a week or lightly maintaining a week before, but you have like multiple things to think about. It's not just like always the same thing. You have to make changes into the reps and to the number of sets and everything. So if you can do something that it's customizable going through the year, with the racing event coming up, that could be.
I think the common mistake is people do too many reps, or they do too low reps. So like the sweet spot is in the middle. So like for strength work, like 5 to 7 reps is good for like endurance athletes. Under that is too low. It's just high risk, low reward. There is a reward from going heavy, but there is a high risk. So the higher the reps, the lower the risk. So like 4 to 7 reps, 4 reps with 2 reps in reserve, 7 reps with no reps in reserve, kind of something like that. And but a lot of people only focus on like 15 to 20 reps, which doesn't build like the opposite power numbers that you kind of, or you're not working when you're doing your endurance sport. So I think there's a benefit in that rep range that I've just mentioned for the endurance athletes. And that's what I do. That's what I program for 95% of my athletes.
Great. I have one question that I ask everyone every guest that comes into the podcast. What does it mean to you to be healthy?
I don't remember what I said last time. What does it mean to be healthy? I think I said something along the lines of mental health. Something like that. And it still kind of comes back to my mind. I think that health is doing the things that you love and that bring you joy. And it's not always easy, but if it's truly something that you want and that makes you happy, well, I think that's kind of health.
You were saying that in April, when I asked you this question in French, you said that right now what I do for most people, it's not being healthy, but it's healthy for me.
Yeah.
I think that sum up a lot what you just said, that you're doing it because you like it.
Yeah, exactly. And the more I think about that is actually, I feel like I feel like the maybe the longer distance triathlon is not necessarily healthy, but the middle distance is kind of something where you can find common ground. So yeah.
Great. Guillaume, if there's any person listening that want to get to know you, follow you on Instagram, where they how and when, not how and where can they find you?
They can find me on at GS1 at G Smith on
SM1.
Instagram. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram right there. And that's where I put all my stuff. On my website, there's my racing calendar, my race recaps, my nutrition, case studies from races. What else is on there? Oh, there's a list of my sponsors from this year. There will be changes in sponsors next year probably as well, so like that'll always be updated. If you want to apply for online coaching, you can contact me through Instagram. I can follow you up the link. Always starts with a discovery call, and if everything seems to be fine, we jump in a consultation. So that's the way it works.
And your website, you said it earlier, backyard.club.
.club.
Great.
Be part of the club.
On that note, I'm going to say thank you very much, Guillaume.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to have listened to this episode of the show. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, leave a rating and review. It really does help. And for more content, please follow the show on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok. See you next time.